Hi everybody, it's Carla from Casey Creates, and I'm excited to be back with you. It feels like it's been a while since I made a video. My last one was on the airplane because we have been caring for my mom and she lives quite a ways away from us. So I don't know if you saw, but I did a video crafting on the airplane. I found a way. So anyway, I'm back and I just want to say hi and thank you to my new subscribers for joining me. I really feel honored that you would want to watch my videos. And thank you to my old subscribers who've always been with me. And you guys are just so kind and you leave wonderful comments and you even pray for us, and I just really appreciate you. But I'm here because I'm very excited about my last creations that I've been making. I'm very much inspired by Mary Barrett. Hi Mary. Mary has a wonderful channel, and she did a rag book, and it was with tattered unfinished fabrics and scraps that she had, but you can't even tell. It was just so beautifully done. She's a wonderful crafter, but this one was sort of inspired by that, in that I've used a lot of vintage and scraps and tattered unfinished edges to create this journal. So I will get started so it doesn't get too long. This lace that I covered the journal with is a reclaimed curtain that hung in a little French home in France that was gifted to me, and I just love the fact that there's some history with some of these pieces. So that's what this fabric is, and then I just made like a little belt loop to string the tattered kind of mossy green ribbon through. So this is the back, and I've coffee dyed the eyelet lace trim so that it would look old. This is the front, and this whole journal is based on simpler times when you just had the freedom of a child to play outside. And I've heard these lace books referred to as a big girl's rag doll, and I had a rag doll growing up. I'll have to pull her out and show her to you at some point. But anyway, I love that concept of it being like a big girl's rag doll because they're just so comforting, and all of the vintage laces and trims and fabrics, I find them kind of soothing. So this image is of a girl picking apples from a tree. I made a tattered fabric flower with a little ribbon rose to kind of pick up the colors of the reds. And I can just feel the breeze outside looking at this picture of her out there picking apples. And then I used some toile fabric and I layered it. And I don't know if you can tell, but I tried to make it look like the tree in the image was sort of an extension of the toile fabric. But maybe that's a little too much. Anyway, this wraps around the flower as a closure. And then I also have a bow here on the side with the tattered it's kind of a linen or canvas fabric, and it opens up to this first page, which is a bunch of cheesecloth, coffee dyed cheesecloth tattered flower layered on a pretty blue crocheted doily, and then there's another crocheted doily under that. And this is a pocket, and I used a jelly roll fabric, and then this is more of that lace curtain that I just kind of made tattered as ruffled trim on the top and the bottom, and then a bow with the same fabric. And you can put journaling cards or pockets. This is an envelope that I created. It's a little bit of bling. I didn't want to put bling all in this book simply because I want it to be a little more vintage. And then the next page, I love this image of the little girl sitting, just relaxing and reading books on a window bench with pillows and the sun shining in. Just looks so inviting. And because she's got pillows around her, I made this sweet little heart-shaped puffy pillow, and I hung it on some satin ribbon with a pen and just stitched around it with some red thread. And then this is just a little button embellishment with a rose and some pleated fabric trim. And then sticking out on the edges just to give it an old look, is cheesecloth. And actually this fabric with the pretty little roses was a doll dress. I love finding doll dress fabric, or infant clothes, because the patterns are nice and tiny. That's just a hint if you didn't know. So there's some more tattered ruffled fabric here on the bottom. And then the next page, both of these are sort of representative of dandelion puffs. So I made this cheesecloth and eyelash trim fiber little flower to go there. I believe this beautiful vintage pocket, doily pocket, was gifted to me from Char Fisher, if I get it right. I hope I got it right, you guys. I promise I'm going to get better at remembering who gifted me what. But anyway, there's more of this. And then Viv, hi Viv, and hi Char. This is some embroidered needlework kind of fabric that I know Viv gifted me. And I love it. It's got these pretty embroidered flowers. So that, sorry, is a pocket, and in there I put some tags, some eyelash trim, again to represent sort of the dandelion puff. And then this one opens up, and this is some gross grain, is that what they call it, fabric? But those look like little seeds and puffs to me as well. So they tuck down in there. And then this is this really pretty velveteen kind of texture dandelion I cut out of some fabric swatches. I showed the swatches in a haul video, and I'm using them now, and these are the little dandelion seeds. And I love the little puffy cheek girl image where she's just blowing dandelions and making a wish. And those are definitely childlike memories for me. And I love this vintage lace trim. And it's funny because I can remember that this was on a burlap placemat that I got at a thrift store. So I love reclaiming the lace and reusing it. And it's kind of nice to remember where I got it from. The next two pages, I seem to always have something with blues in it. And these are this is sort of a simpler time image, and I love this image of the little girl out in the field just feeding the cow, a little calf. And these are some embroidered flowers that I cut out of some sheer fabric and just used them as applique. Here's a pocket with some vintage blue rickrack. And this again was off of an infant dress, I think. But I love the colors in this. And then I just put a rayon seam binding bow and a little lace bow over the top. And then just some layers and layers again of lace trim. And what I'm going to do is tuck a couple tea bags in that pocket. So those are the two kind of bluish themed colors. Oh wait, the middle here I covered that seam with some jacquard lace ribbon that kind of weaves in the lace. I love this page, probably the colors, because it pops out the colors in here. But in this image, this girl was pretending to be the flower girl in a pretend wedding. She sort of looks like a little peasant girl, and I just remember playing wedding outside. You know, the little cute Tom Thumb weddings, and everybody's pretending to be the bride, the groom, and the wedding attendants. So she was the flower girl. And I know you've seen the doilies where they have the crocheted pansies, and I love those. And so I looked for an opportunity to use a couple, and so I used them in this page. The gingham is a beautiful yellow-orange gingham from an old pillowcase. And then this is some pretty scalloped trim, and I cut the woven part off and used that at the top to give it more of that tattered look. But I really like this page. The Flower Girl. The next page is a theme of just a vintage page with lots of eyelet lace trim. There's a strip of vintage tatting. And this is tea-dyed lace on top of just regular white eyelet lace trim. And this is a cloth tag that I pinned on with a bulb pin. And these are just two little girls chatting it up on the limb of a tree. And believe it or not, I lived in a tree. I had my favorite tree in the backyard, and I loved sitting on the limb of that tree as a child. So whenever I see an image like that, I really relate to it. But this is just a fun little tag. It tucks down in there, and this is a belly band. And again, more of the eyelet lace trim and vintage trim. So it's not a very big book. These are the last 2 pages. This is one of my favorite ones, again with the orange and yellows to pull out the colors in the image. And this is a applique piece that I cut off of that vintage pillowcase. I made another one of those little pretty hand-stitched heart pillows. And there's the back. And this artist, I don't remember her first name, but her last name is Byers, M. Byers. And she does these beautiful African-American little images of girls out having tea, or in the flower garden. There's one with her grandmother, looks like grandmother's having a tea party. There's one where it looks like the grandpa is reading them the Bible on the front porch. Anyway, the images are beautiful, and this is one of my favorite ones, where she's carrying a bouquet of flowers. And then I love the baby rose print fabric with all of the ruched fabric on the edges. Oh, and this is some really pretty vintage lace that I'm told was made out of tobacco twine on the edge. And then the back page is just the other side of the front one with the pocket here. And so it's another pocket, more of that French lace curtain. And in here there is a journal, and it's just vintage rose print fabric and tea-dyed paper to journal on. Oh, I put that little piece in there, and then this tucks in there, and there's a little bow with a little blue ribbon rose, and that's the back page. So this is my Simpler Times rag book with the really comforting images of times when life was simple and free. So I hope you liked seeing this. Now I have another one to show you simply because if I happen to gift this one or sell it, I sometimes get so attached. This I kind of tie so it looks like the leaf of a flower, and I like to have another one just in case. So this one is slightly different on the cover, and I won't go very long with this one because the pages on the inside are very similar, but I love the image of this one because it's a little girl sitting in the woods looking up at the trees, and the sun is shining down on her through the trees, and I like how they captured the light. And then the foliage of my trees are pink flowers. So I thought I would take these Tim Holtz white flowers, and I sprayed them with pink shimmer, I think it's called shimmer mist or glimmer mist, anyway. And they're mounted on little silk green flowers, and I used burlap threads to make the tree branches. And I specifically remember this fabric because I've been sort of hoarding it. It was from Ruby at Little Books. Thank you, Ruby. This is beautiful botanical print yellow cotton fabric, and she gifted me a few strips of that, and I knew I'd find a special place for it. So there's one of them there, and I just love it. This is a Prima flower, and then in the corner here I have a pink lace bow, so to get it in frame. It's a little pink, a little flat back there and there. So pink and green being my favorite colors, I had to just kind of pull those colors out all over. And then this trim, I have I feel like I'll never run out of it, thank goodness. It's trimmed from a big broomstick skirt, so I just cut it off periodically and use it. And then there's some crocheted pink trim as well. And that's what's backing this. Oh, and this velcros, and it's a pocket. Oh, so I'll show you. There's this pretty little tag, but I'm just going to show you that you can tuck tags down in the front pocket like that. So that's probably the main difference of this journal compared to this one, is the cover is a little less vintage, a little more whimsical. So I'll just turn these pages really quick. This is the inside cover, is more like the front cover of the other one, The Girl Picking Apples. And then this is the Dandelion Puff one, and I did put a little sentiment that says wish. And then I found this really fun dandelion poem, and I at first did it on tea dyed paper, but it seemed a little too dark. But I'll read it to you. It says, "Oh dandelion, yellow as gold, what do you do all day? I just wait here in the tall green grass till the children come to play. Oh dandelion, yellow as gold, what do you do all night? I wait and wait till the cold dew falls and my hair grows long and white. And what do you do when your hair is white and the children come out to play? They take me up in their dimpled hands and blow my hair away." I thought that was a really sweet poem about dandelions. And dandelions and blowing dandelions and making wishes on them definitely is a childhood memory for me. So then the next page is just a fun ruffly page with some beautiful, more of that beautiful fabric that was gifted to me. And then this is fabric that is in my bag that says fairy fabric, because it's got these pretty little feathery loops, and I just wanted to put that on there. So that's a little different from the first journal. This one's almost exactly the same as the first journal, my Flower Girl. And these are pretty much exactly the same as the first image, or first journal. The pocket's a little different, and then these little flowers are a little different. But the girl feeding the cow is the same, and the embroidered embellishments are the same. And this one is a little different in that the pocket page has more carryover from this page. Some ruching and ruffled trim, some satin eyelet lace, ribbon going through the eyelet lace trim is a little different. So this page is a little different. This page is pretty much the same. And I love the layers and layers of girly lace. This page is different. This was inspired by my girlfriends that we grew up with that had quinceañeras, or had their first communions, or had christening parties, and all of the dresses were always white with lots of lace and ruffles and trims. And that's what this was kind of inspired by, my memories of. And then there's a pretty resin flower there. And a big, puffy rayon seam binding bow. And then this image I did not put in the first book. And I have embellishments from Janine at Vintage Shabby Chic. A lot of you know Janine. She's a wonderful crafter, and I just love her channel. She's a super sweet person. She made me this embellishment wallet, and there were all these beautiful little embellishments that she said I could use. And so I pulled off some of the vintage buttons and resin flowers and stuck them on here. This image makes me happy, of the three little girls just having a happy free time on the swing. This is a really pretty lace trim. I don't know if you can see those little embroidered flowers, but they're really pretty. So that page is different than in the first journal. But anyway, this is the back, which is again the extension of the front with a little pocket. And and I'll just flip through this one again, even though it's very similar. So I had a wonderful time creating these, and I hope you enjoyed seeing them. And I've just been spending some time crafting. I'm moving on to probably some holiday ideas that I have that I'd like to get started on. But anyway, tell me what you think. I hope you enjoyed seeing my journals. I really enjoy coming and sharing them with you, and I look forward to seeing your videos as well. So thanks for sharing, and I hope everybody's getting a little time into craft. Happy crafting. I'll see you again soon. Bye.